మిత్రునాం మిత్రులారా బంధువులారా వనక్కము స్వాగతము. వెల్కమ్ టు సౌత్ ఏషియా మ్యాప్స్ education channel, intellectual Kshatriyas channel. This is your presenter Dr. J. Reddy, J. Tirupati Reddy. We are continuing our exponential growth series, our rice grains on chessboard series. These are the rice grains on chessboard series. Part 2, we are trying to comprehend the very big numbers on chessboard. When you reach the 64th square, the numbers will be very enormous. So, I wanted to devote this particular presentation so that you will get a clarity. Chessboard పైన చదరంగం పైన చాలా పెద్ద నంబర్స్ ఉంటాయి, బిగ్ నంబర్స్ ఉంటాయి, సంఖ్యలు ఉంటాయి. దట్ ఈజ్ కిలో, మెగా, గిగా, టెరా, పెటా, ఎక్సా ఆర్ మిలియన్, బిలియన్, ట్రిలియన్, క్వాడ్రిలియన్, సెక్స్టిలియన్. వీటిని ఎలా అవగాహన చేసుకోవాలి చక్కగా విశదీకరిస్తాను. ఇది చాలా ముఖ్యం. After this presentation, you will get a great clarity on this. Unless you comprehend this, you will not be getting a big clarity on exponential growth, that is compounding. That means something growing at a constant rate. All these presentations, Mitranam, I posted at our rice grain chessboard series. We are in part 2, big numbers overview. We will get a clarity about million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion. That will not be generally used, but that is the mega, giga, tera, peta and exa, and I will integrate them both because I see the literature explains both of them so that the audience will get a clarity about them. I have made this presentation with a great intuitiveness so that you can remember and comprehend. Remember, at the 64th square, if you start putting the rice grains or wheat grains, there will be 18 followed by 18 zeros. That is an enormous number. All these presentations I have posted at my education channel, that is South Asia Maps J. Reddy or J. Tirupati Reddy, Joggari Reddy. You can Google it. There are around about 750 or so presentations as of Pongal, Sankrantri, Mahasivaratri time, 2025 February. Compounding the big numbers on chessboard. By the time you reach 64th square on the chessboard, the numbers will be enormous. Mega, giga, tera, excuse me, and so on. That will be the very important that you need to comprehend on exponential growth in a finite environment. One of the limitations of the humans is human intuitiveness is very poor in grasping the implications of the exponential growth, that is compounding, something growing at a constant rate like 0.1%, 1%, 7% standard interest rate, or even 18-19%, that is the credit card interest rate. Professor Bartlett says the greatest shortcoming of human race is inability to comprehend exponential growth. As a part of this exponential growth, we have to know about the numbers. Generally, the numbers are both, the issue comes, the numbers are mentioned in the standard metric systems and standard dictionary system. Dictionary systems generally will be like a million, billion, and trillion, quadrillion, and quintillion, whereas the metric systems are like mega, giga, tera, peta, exa, and we'll comprehend all these, integrate together so that you will get a great clarity after this presentation. So you have to remember the basic simple thing, that is the million. You know, million has a 6 zeros, billion has a 9 zeros, trillion has a 12 zeros. Easiest way I remember is T is 12, that is the trillion. Trillion is 12. Remember the money creation by the United States bankers, Fed Reserves and so on, $1 trillion, or the American GDP is in the $1 trillion and so on. Human population is billion, billion is 9 trillion. So quadrillion means you add 3 zeros, that is the 15 zeros. And quintillion is 18 zeros. That's sufficient for us. You have 18 zeros, quintillion. The number of the grains on the chessboard is again very easy. There are 18 zeros, that is the suffix, and prefix is also 18. 18 followed by 18 zeros. We have just rounded up the numbers so that the audience can get a clarity. That is the quintillion. Sextillion means you add 3 more, means 21 zeros. That's extraordinary number. We need not worry, but I put it for clarity here. So how do you remember? T, trillion. This is the dictionary number. This is the metric system number. Tri is a trillion, that is the US economy, and maybe $4 trillion per year or something like that. T is trillion, that is 12 zeros present. You see, then you see I have here 9 zeros, that is the billion. So this is the mega, giga, tera, peta, exa. How do you integrate them? The easiest way, again, stop at trillion, that is 12, tera is 12. 12 trillion tera is 12. So then you start with million is mega. Million, mega, easy to remember, 6 zeros. Billion is giga. How do you remember? The way I comprehend is the big number. That is the human population is the big number. It is a billion. There are 8.2 billion people live on the earth today, 2025. So billion is a big number. The humans, that is the giga. And quadrillions and quintillions means, how do you distinguish them? R comes first, so it has to be 15. Quintillion, T comes later, R, S, T, so 18. So we got it. This is the 9 zeros, again 9 zeros. 9 zeros is billion. You have billion here, 9 zeros, billion here, 9 zeros, 18 zeros. That is the quintillion. So how do I remember this? Is again, I made the things very easy. The number of the grains at the final square on the chessboard is 18 followed by 18 zeros, the grains in this part. 18 followed by 18 zeros. 18 zeros is a quintillion. That is the billion. 18 BB is easy to remember. There are 8 billion people on the planet Earth. Other ways to remember is, remember the country called Mongolia, a city called Taipei. The Mongolia is a country in the Central Asian region, north of mainland China. Mongolia, million and giga, are mega and giga. Million is 6 and giga, that is the big, billion is 9. Remember Mongolia, 6 and 9. Across the China, the Formosa Straits, there is a country called Formosa, also called Taiwan. Its capital is Taipei. T is Tera, P is Peta, E is Exa. That is very easy to remember again here. So we have Formosa Strait to Taiwan country there. You have Taipei, Tera, and Peta, and Exa. Exa means 18, Peta is 15. Of course, Tera, trillion is 12. Above it, you have a country called Mongolia. Mega and Giga. You always start with million, that is the mega, 6. And Giga has to be 9, that is the billion. Big is a billion, that is the uh, 12 zeros, the Giga. So what did we really understand today is we integrated these numbers. You start kilo. Everybody know kilo means 1,000, right? Below, about the deca is 10 hectares, and kilo is 3 zeros. Then you have mega, you have a giga, tera, peta, exa. This is nothing but Mongolia. M, that means the million, 6 zeros, giga, billion, 9 zeros. You have to remember only two numbers, million and billion, that is mega and giga. Once you remember million is 6, billion is 9, just remember a city called Taipei in the country called Formosa, Taiwan, that is a sort of Republic of China. Then you have Taipei, that is the Tera, Peta, Exa. I have also put these things here. In every presentation, I'll be posting that so that the audience will get a clarity. And if you remember, just to remember these numbers like mega and giga, that is Tera, Peta, and Exa, and zeros, because sometimes we'll be switching over this metric system, standard dictionary system. The things get complicated. I see the post, use the both, so that I want my audience in the next connecting series get a very great clarity. In the population series point number 5, I have talked about how to remember. At that time, only a simple numbers, like based upon the Timbuktu, the African city and the Niger river, Timbuktu, that is the 1,000, a million and billion and trillion, quadrillion, based upon easy, the Timbuktu. You can consult that one also. Always start with a simple number. Remember, million you are always aware, and billion. There are 8 billion people. 8.2 actually does not matter, round it up, on the planet Earth. That is the billion. That's a very big number of humans. That is the giga. If you put 1 in front of it, that becomes 18, because we are talking about the billion. You put BB, 18 billion grains we can put on the chessboard in the final stages. You see, in the 64th square, Exa, that is nothing but 18. We are putting 9.2 grains Exa. Remember, we are putting that because if you count all the grains so far, it is just a double. 9 double it 18. So I rounded up the other number so that things becomes easy. On 24th square, 31 square, 41, 51, 61. You have a million grains here. You have a billion grains, that is the G, giga grains here. You have a tera grains, peta grains, exa grains here, 41, 51, 61 square. All these things we will be exploring in depth in the our series. So you stay tuned on that. That means the wheat grains on the chessboard. Instead of wheat, I use the rice. The concept is essentially the same. So in the metric systems we discuss about, you can look at the Wikipedia for standards. And what did we talk today? Today we integrated the metric numbers with the dictionary numbers. We have a that like mg, million, and that is the mega and giga, mg. Then the type, that is the tera, peta, exa. And we have mapped it to the million, billion, and trillion is a 12. Then quadrillion, quintillion, R and T, quadrillion, quintillion. Remember, there are 8 billion people on the planet Earth. That means on the chessboard, in the final stage, the entire board will put 18 followed by 18 zeros, grains. It has to be type E at the end, that is the exa, that is the quintillion grains. Hope this will be useful to you. And in the next presentation, and I'll be talking about a similar idea in India, Bharat, we use the concept called Lakh and Crore. How you integrate that one into the system, that will be the point of discussion. Hope Mitrulara, this series and this presentation is productive to you. And if you want to post any comments or suggestions, or you want to share these resources to the similar audience, I will swagatam for that. And thank you joining me in the presentation, Dr. Jogari Tirupati Reddy, Intellectual Jatiya Channel, South Asia Maps, Rice Grains on the Chessboard, Compounding Issue, Exponential Growth Series. See you in the next presentation.